Hello, my dear Scorpio. This is your love and spirituality reading for the month of September 2019 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. We are soon entering into Virgo season, so remember to say happy birthday to all Virgos out there. And I will do a shorter 10 card spread instead of the normal 15 card spread. And if you like it, I might continue doing my generals in this fashion. I do this reading in the order of birthdays, which start from Virgo. In about 2 to 3 weeks time, I will take 2 days of work and do Libra season bonus love readings for the 8 signs that appreciate this general reading the most. So remember to hit that like button, and if you feel that you have the time, you can watch or click the ad, which financially frees up my time so I can do more of these readings for you. And as always, these readings apply to your sun, moon, rising sign, and Venus, Vedic or tropical. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. If you need more information after you have listened to this reading, you can turn to the bonus reading for Virgo season that is up, or general reading for August, or the pick a card readings on the first page of my channel. Click my little Queen of Cups icon and then scroll down a little on the first channel page. There you will see different readings that can clarify your situation. You can also seek out a personal reading. Go to my webpage, www.queenofcupstarot.se. I have a new VIP package for those of you that want to take a big jump in your personal and spiritual growth. And for this reading, I will use the 78 Tarot Mythical. It's a global art collaboration limited edition deck. And my dear Scorpio, when I open your deck here, I see Two of Swords and the Hermit. So Two of Swords, it can be a situation where we try to be kind of diplomatic. We don't want to make anyone angry with us. But yet we really want to do things our way. And it might be that you rather do things your way alone than to engage other people and try to talk them into joining you. So it's a little bit lone wolf's feelings with you here. I'm feeling a little ounce of bitterness. And it might be that you feel very misunderstood and that people are hard to communicate with, and that they surely doesn't love you for the person that you are. So it seems like you need to work a little bit on the self-love so that you can be more calm in being you, and also less, how can I say this? If people do things towards you, you don't have to take it personally. So you don't have to let their behavior impact you in such a dramatic fashion. So it would be good if you could be more open instead of closed to what it is that you want. Tell people more lightheartedly, more calm, more cool, and try to not run and hide when people seems to not be able to accept you for the person that you are. So I call the divine with love and light. And here we see the Ace of Swords with Two of Swords. So 1, 2. It seems like you have some important things that you need to say. I think it's important things also that you need to see. I think you want to fit in, but for some reason you find it being impossible. So instead you get this little bit passive aggressive feeling with you where you are withdrawing from people. And the divine says, please don't do that. Please love yourself enough to communicate and solve whatever issue is on the table, instead of just withering away, walking away, becoming wallpaper, or just, ghosting someone. Okay, it might be that someone will ghost you too because they feel in some way misunderstood. Maybe a Virgo or a Libra is what I've seen so far. Okay, so I called the 4 angels in the four corners of the world. And here we have Libra again, and this is also Libra. So it's always about balance in relationship, balance and communication. So things needs to be equal. Both sides wants to be unconditionally loved and loved for who they are, but neither seems to want to say it. It's like we take for granted that the other person will understand our needs and how we feel without us really talking about it, and that won't work. People are, not yet anyway, real good at mind reading. And I feel a lot of different feelings here. I want to be loved for who I am, and I want people to understand who I am. And in the same time, I am bitter because they don't understand who I am. So I think your heart is a little bit heavy. There's a little bit sadness here. It should be light as a feather. So when your heart is heavy, try to look what it is that's causing this instead of like brushing it underneath the carpet, trying to have a strong face, be a lone wolf. Because I think the little inner child here with you, the feminine side also maybe, and the heart wants to have a saying in all this. You need to come a little bit more alive and not become a ghost or a vampire or disappear in the night. Okay, so I call the 6 elements, and here we have 10 of cups with the 2 of swords. So it seems like there's endless possibilities with love here, but what you need to prove is that you are able to love yourself enough to stand up for yourself and speak with a loving but clear voice about what you are seeing and how you feel and your take on things, your view on things. Try to not become silent, try to solve things, try to engage yourself in the situation and show people that you still believe, that you still have hope. And if you have given up hope, the divine wants to tell you that there are hope here. There's a lot of love for you to be given in this lifetime. You just need to open your eye and your heart to this. Okay. And we might be talking about some counterpart of you, like a person that you're dealing with. And in this case, this person is probably, they're probably it's a scared person, but with a very cold attitude. Like they have an attitude with them like they don't care. But I can say they care a lot, but they are very hurt for some reason. And it might have nothing to do with you. Like it's an ancient hurt. You are just getting in the way for this and being... maybe they are hurting you in the way they once got hurt. So 6 elements to call all this here to my dear Scorpio viewers. I want my dear Scorpios to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving, loving relationships. It seems like you have a blessing on the way, but if you are not careful, you will be too closed and too bitter and too, you already know what's going to happen. So you won't notice, okay, when people come and wants to love you. And it seems like there's also illusions when you walk on this path, there can be illusions on the way, like people that seems like friends but are not friends. And it's very easy to find out who this is with being more honest and talking straight to the person and demanding answers. And if you don't get answers, that's your answer. So putting more demands on people to act more in their value instead of shying away, not answering questions, not taking phone calls or deflecting. Okay, so when you see deflecting, play with it. Try to communicate. Try to get some playfulness and love and passion into there, so that it doesn't become cold and stale like a winter's night. Okay, so I feel it's ready. So I didn't have time with the prayer because I talked too much, but the divine knows it. He knows it by now. Okay. So I will just tune in here for a few seconds to you and the energy of September for you. Okay, so This will be later in the bottom of your deck, and we have the Three of Swords, which was what I was feeling. I think this is partly your trauma, that you have a trauma like this, but I feel that you kind of cope with it. I think you have love for yourself and you support yourself to a certain extent. You're pretty strong. But there might be other people in your surrounding that's not this strong. And these are the people that will act cold and like they don't care because they don't know a better way. It doesn't mean that you deserve the way they treat you, but it's at least an explanation, so you don't have to take it personally. It's not about you, it's about them and the trauma. If you have been going to, hell and back, you might become cold too. So, and this was in the bottom of the deck, and we have the Chariot here, being to hell and back, speaking of the devil and all that. So it seems like they have their journey through life has bruised them severely, okay? And it's fine. They have chosen this for themselves to learn the things they wanted to learn, but the result as of now is trauma, and it's making them cold because their heart is closed. For some people, they will have lost soul part, so they might not have access to their heart, for example, at all, and that makes them cold. So we can see like psychopaths and sociopaths and narcissists have lost soul parts, so something human is taken away from them due to trauma. Some didn't have this in the first place because it was they haven't developed this just yet, but others have had it and lost it due to being to hell and back. So having a horrific childhood or horrific past lives that have made them kind of split their personality and leave certain very damaged part behind. I think you have done the same, but it's going to be easier for you, is what I'm feeling, because you're stronger. You could more easily take back a lost soul part and easily integrate it. You just didn't know that it was lost, but if you find it, you will integrate it and it wouldn't be any problem. But for these people which I see, they have such a deep trauma, and if they take back that traumatic part, they might not even be able to function at all in the world. So it's that severe. So you don't have to become codependent and do everything for this person and be their heart, but just know why this is happening. So you don't have to blame yourself, or you can. It's easier when we understand why things is happening. So this is your situation. This is the challenge to your situation. This is how you handle the challenge. This is your intuition. This is how you follow your intuition. This is what you need to relax and accept. And this is the next level. When you have going through all this, will be the next level you will end up in. So this is the actual spread. I was taught this spread in the 1990s somewhere in time, but I have added cards. So now this is the lifting bird, but here we have, yes, I discussed this with a viewer, and it's either a mini bird like flying above the other bird, because it's the bird, it's like so with the wings, and here's a mini bird, but this is going to be the result. And for me, it hasn't been two birds, it has actually been a heart that will unify it all. Okay, so we will start with your situation, and we have a Two of Wands, and this is something I can feel with you, that you are very strong. You can go to a little bit hell and back, because yeah, you can be the hell. It's like you can be real strong. You can be a pain in the ass if necessary. You don't have demands on yourself to act appropriate. You have demands on yourself to act strong and vivid. I will explain this. It's like if someone would challenge you, you wouldn't think, oh, how am I allowed to act? You will act from your strength. And this is kind of very mature. So it's like you have your own authority, and you allow yourself to, if someone is rude, you can actually say something rude back and put them in their place. So that's the kind of energy I'm feeling here. It's also an energy of choice. It's like you are choosing not to engage yourself in situation which you think is kind of beneath you in some way. And it's because you want to keep your peace of mind. It's not because of ego. It's because of self-preservation. And you are kind of enjoying having peace of mind, feeling good about your life, feeling good about yourself. So if someone wants to act all dramatic with you, or pull your leg, or be difficult in some way, you might put a rather strong boundary towards that person. It's not like you're unforgiven, like you can forgive people. It's not that it's not a problem. This is a good thing, okay? So you're alive, you're passionate, but you have boundaries. That's good. The Unforgiven, I guess that's your song, because I hear it. The Unforgiven. So you might feel like you are the unforgiven, but I think you have forgiven yourself. So you are okay with you, but if God isn't okay with you, you're fine with that. So that's what I like, okay? Because God is fine with you, and you're allowed to find your own authority like this. I like it. This is good. This is personal development. And this is your challenge. And in the challenge department, we have a card that can easily be called challenge. It's 5 of Wands, so it's petty arguments. Everyone has their opinion, and it's probably very touchy-feely. Like, you said that. No, it was you. You did that. No, I didn't. So it's it can be when we don't love ourselves, we can easily think that another person has a bad opinion of us too. So I think that you are kind of cool, and of course you can also fall victim for this and feel like, yeah, these people, they don't like me. But I think you are more a victim to these kind of situations where people think things about you that might or might not be true, but it's like they have decided upon some angle, like they have decided that this is you, this is Scorpio, this is how Scorpio acts, this is what they feel, this is what they want, this is how they don't like me, this is how they hate me, this is how they want to hurt me. So they have a lot of opinions about this, and it leads to a lot of arguments or misunderstandings. And I think this is what you are trying to be a little bit careful with, because you don't want to be judged in that way, particularly when it's not true. I think you're trying to do your best, but it seems like you have people in your surrounding that's a little bit overreactive. But remember where they have been, and that they weren't as strong as you, okay? So they couldn't handle it as well, or their challenge might have been more severe. So they are deeply, deeply traumatized. So if you say something that resembles something that hurts them, if you say, I don't know whose this dirty t-shirt is, and the friend that owns that t-shirt might be really upset and not speak with you for a week, and you just pointed out that someone had thrown their dirty t-shirt on the floor, and that you wanted them to take care of it, but they reacted with like feeling that you jumped on them and accused them for being something. You didn't. You just wanted them to take the darn t-shirt, or you know, clean up the place so everyone could thrive there. So you didn't have a bad intention, and it's for you, it's like walking on eggshells, dealing with people like this that's a little bit overreactive, okay? So this is how you deal with these people. And we have a 9 of Pentacles, so you're doing great. This is beautiful. You have your self-love still. So even if people act like they easily get into conflict with you, they easily feel hurt or brokenhearted for things they think that you feel, for things they think that you said, for things they think that you did. And you just watch the show, is what I'm saying. You just watch the show. because you have a feeling of being very dignified. You don't really engage yourself personally in this, and it's beautiful. You just allow yourself to be your true nature, and you believe that this is how it should be, that you are allowed to be yourself. You don't have to get a bad consciousness because a person is like this overreactive. It's kind of their problem. You love to help them if they are able to talk to you in a sensible way, but as long as they are going to have this dramatic reaction, then you just okay, so well, I can't care less about that. I just want you to take your t-shirt. Okay, deal with your feelings about this t-shirt, but it's not my problem. So I think this is kind of how you deal with it. It's not super friendly, but I think it's necessary at this stage where you are at, where you are trying to balance yourself and love yourself. It feels like you feel that you are not forgiven by God, but you have forgiven yourself. And that is kind of a little bit, it's a beautiful foundation, but it would have been better if you believed that you were unconditionally loved also by God or the universe. But you feel like you are so different in some way that you feel that you haven't been fully supported, and that it might be something wrong with you, but you couldn't care less because you want to love yourself. You want to find inner peace. You don't want to always feel like the bad person, and you don't want to have to tiptoe to every situation. It's like people ask you to make yourself small and insignificant, and you might be a big dragon and with big wings and claws and going through the apartment like this, and you want to have space, you want to spread your wings, and they say no, make yourself tiny, put yourself in the shelf like this, and you might believe that the universe wants the same for you, and that you should make yourself tiny, but you have decided you will not make yourself tiny. You are what you are. You accept it. It's just a little bit hard to get others to accept it too. And it's not, you have no bad intention whatsoever. You just want to be able to be yourself without people reacting always bad to this. I'm not saying that we are supposed to go and be rude towards people, but I feel that you are not. You're just trying to do the right thing, and people overreact to your behavior. And this is your intuition, and we have the 5 of Cups here. I think it came in the same position for Virgo. So some of you might have Virgo somewhere in your chart, or you might be dealing with a Virgo. This is actually also Virgo. So I think you have a similar situation as Virgo. Virgo they have actually turned themselves to heaven, but they also try to disconnect from the drama. Here, unfortunately, we have the drama. This is 5, this is 5. They are all connected to the Hierophant society, which also came for Libra. So society is how we try to fit in with others and work together with them, so we won't be thrown out of community. So we will survive. So we will be part of community and be protected. So we will be like inside the walls, being taken care of, instead of outside the walls and being like shunted. And here you don't want to be shunted. You want to be a part of this kind of this family here, but you also have your dignity, and you want to it's like an adult sense with you. You can't dignify to engage in this drama. That's what I'm feeling over and over again. But the drama is still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. And it kind of makes you very disappointed that people always believe the worst, or they always think that you said things to be rude, or that you did things out of lack of love, when it was not at all like that. You're just trying to mind your business here. So we have the Hierophant here. That's society. This is the Hermit. It's the person that kind of revolt against society, move away to a cave somewhere, like a teenager moving away from home, and finding out for themselves their values and how they want to live their life, and eventually they will come back to society again because they will create a family of their own. Okay, so this is how you react to this. Your intuition is telling you, I'm going to be disappointed here because people can't seem to understand me, and I can't seem to make myself small enough for them to not be annoyed by me. Yes, and here we have a Knight of Swords. So here is where you go over the edge a little bit, because this is when you become the unforgiven, when you become the person that can't forgive. So try to not take these people so personally. Yes, there is a fine line here, and if they cross that, you might not be friends anymore. But there's no dignity in, counting strikes and then deciding with strike number 5, and then hell will be let loose. It doesn't have to work like that. Okay, we can see the example with Jesus. I will just go straight to this example, and it's he's talking about the worthless servant. That he's throw the worthless servant on the street. But if this worthless person comes back and say, okay, I will apply myself, I understand now that you actually didn't mean any harm, it was just me overreacting, I'm sorry, then you let them back. And that is what it means to turn the other cheek. It's not about being a pushover. It's about showing people where your boundaries are at and how you want things to be done, because you have also things how you want things to be done. We all have. That's why there's a battle. Here we have Jesus thinking that the servant should be, acting better, doing better things. And the servant thinks, no, I'm already used as it is. I am always the one taking the water in, and no one else does this, so I'm being perfect on my own. But then they are being thrown out in the streets, so they have lost their livelihood, their ability to survive, and as of that they might conform and say, okay, so I will carry more water if you just let me into the house again. And Jesus here said that just forgive them every time. So it's very hard to find out who's wrong and who's right here. And I think we can't. What we need to understand is that it's not right or wrong. It's about communication, okay? To really communicate in a way so we have really understand each other, and talking from a space, from heart space. So we can say, okay, this is how I feel when you do me like this. And some people might take advantage of that and feel like, okay, so if this hurt, I will do it some more. So here we have the psychopaths I was talking about before, and sometimes also narcissistic people and sociopaths, because they like to hurt other people and see them suffer, because then it's not only them that suffers, so they don't have to feel so alone. So that's another chapter. But the important thing here is to act from the heart. And here with the Knight of Swords, when someone is threatening to make you disappointed, it seems like you won't act from the heart. You will act from the head and kind of strike them where it hurts. And well, it might be a necessary move for you to clean your space and dignify your house and throw the person out that couldn't they couldn't take that you told them that you didn't want this dirty t-shirt on your living room floor, whatever. So it's your home, I guess, so you can do this if you want peace of mind. We'll see. Okay, so this is what you need to relax and accept. And here we have the Fool. So this is what I want to come to, that some people, what I said, they like to see you suffer, but most people have your best at heart. They want what's best for you. They want what's best for them. They want what's best for everyone. So they don't have bad intentions. They just believe everyone else do. So they are very reactive. It's very easy for them to react when someone is saying something and they think it means a certain thing, and that's where communication comes in. So I think you have someone in your surrounding that acts a little bit like a child. It's a beautiful innocence, and we can connect this way with honesty. This little snowman here, he says to the bigger snow person that jetty, okay, that hello. So it's a communication. It's a reminding, okay? You can say, hello, it's not, I don't hate you, I love you. Just take care of this dirty t-shirt. So it doesn't have to be more dramatic than that. Communication, okay? And the Fool, it kind of takes me back to this. I don't think that this is the solution. I think the solution is to be open, even if people strike you again and again with their sword and want you to be hurt and dramatic and over the top and over the wall like they are, because they feel insecure in the world and they want to drag you along with them. But you don't like that way, to be in that way. You don't want to have that upset kind of way. And when people like they pick on you and pick on you and pick on you and pick on you, not like this like timid way, but really, then you get really upset. So if you could notice every time a person picks on you and take those situations as situation to communicate, okay, to be aware of what this picking means. So when you see a person acting like they have frowny face, so you put a hand on them and you say, okay, so what's up with the frowny face? Tell me. And it might be something bad. You might feel offended what they feel, but you just listen and then you say, okay, so I can't really agree with you. I understand you feel this way, but this is from my point. This is what I really meant, or this is what I really want, or this is what I really see with us too. So, notice these small little things. And so it won't have to go this far to become this dramatic, and you don't have to throw the worthless servant out because you have already talked things through and agreed. Okay, so, and this is the new level, and we have a 10 of Pentacles, so good golly, we survived. Yes, we survived a living room cleaning drama, and people are still they're still okay with each other. But I feel that the person in the middle is suffering somehow, and that the people around him is taking care of him. So I think that you have people in your life that might not know really what's right or wrong. And they are asking you, with getting pissed on you, they are asking you what's right, because they believe you to be a strong leader. So instead of throwing them out, you tell them, this is how things should be done. And they will listen, because it's like these people have lacked mentors or, icons, idols, people to look up to, so that they could make things better, that they can make better choices. So sometimes you need to be the bigger person and also kind of the teacher and say, this is how things should be done. I understand you get upset or you feel ashamed for throwing your clothes around. I don't judge you. I just want you to take it up from the floor. So I think it's like this person hasn't been parented. They have never had a parent that was sane enough to give them good values. And they're asking for these good values from you. You need to give them this. You need to tell them your side of things, because you are wise, you are grown up, you have gone your own way, you have survived, you have already gone through this, and you survived, and you didn't get traumatized and lost half of yourself. Some small lost parts, but it's not that big of a wound. And for some of you cross watchers, it will be the other way around, that this is Scorpio being dramatic like this, and you will be the sane one here that's getting real pissed, but seems to be able to save the day with, I think it's naive heart space love, like not really naive. It's both grown, but you're also really valuing your connection. So you seem to be able to save the day and help the person to live in the community and be a part of the community without, always overreacting to things like this. Okay. This is the result, and we have a Queen of Swords here. So Knight of Swords is Gemini, Queen of Swords is Libra. We have had Libra before, both in the Two of Swords and in the Justice card. So with the Queen of Swords here, it's some danger with you. It's like you're a little bit dangerous. That's the song. She's a little bit dangerous. And it might be a person you are dealing with that have gone through hell. It can be them is this little bit dangerous. So you don't know what's going to throw them off or make them a little bit insane. But in the same time, I feel you here because you are mirroring yourself in one another. And this is the side to you where you can see things very clearly, sometimes a little bit disconnected from the heart, but we can see she's very open here, open heart chakra, very like naked. It's not a lot of shelter. She have these shelters, but they are behind her back. So if she can be open and vulnerable, but if someone messes with her, God, like save them. What I feel is that you don't have to be so reactive. If someone is reactive with you, you don't have to be reactive back because you have such strength like that you can take up like from behind. If someone would really hurt you, you would kind of be able to crush them in some sense. So you don't have to, when we are big, when we are strong, we need to be nice. That's what I'm feeling. So you need to be nice. Don't go into conflict. Don't go into drama. Don't project yourself into this. Just see what's happening. Being very aware. That's also her superpower. Seeing things with awareness and knowing when to react. Being a little bit modest. Being a little bit grown up. A little bit calm. A little bit cool. And saving the day. Okay, don't use too much power in a situation. It's like you might also see enemies just like this person does. And you might act very strongly towards these people. And be careful because you don't know, even if that person has been rude, you don't know their story, you don't know their problems, you don't know the effect things will have. So just try to be a little bit careful. You don't want to regret yourself later on if you have been coming on too strong in a situation and really hurt someone that might have been, out of hand and rude and, not a nice person. But the things that you said might really, come straight to the heart. And it might be... maybe it's meant to happen that way to reawake their trauma, but I think that there's a risk that people will really break down from this. Like they could even hurt themselves or go into self-destructive behavior, stop eating, things like this. People are like injuring themselves, things like this. So be a little bit careful. The person with the roughest, bitchiest surface doesn't have to be so strong when they are in privacy. So if you don't have to beat them up, and don't do it. Like if it's not necessary to, if you have already thrown them out of your castle, you don't have to, throw bombs after them. You can just close the castle door. Okay, and here we have the King of Wands. So Queen of Swords, King of Wands. This is Leo, this is a Libra. So we can say this can be Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, and this is Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy. So it's very fiery man and a very lofty, airy woman with the swords energy. So air, air together with fire can be a little bit explosive, but I think this person here puts a little bit more anyway calm to the situation, because Queen of Swords, she doesn't have much empathy always. She knows she has high moral values, but she can be a little bit like law, not looking to excuses. There's no excuses where she is at. It's like you should behave like this, and in other case you're worthless. And this one is a little bit more forgiving and can see the spirit in people and see and kind of see the value in everyone, even when they are at their lowest. So try to balance both of these. I don't want you to get hurt, but I don't want you to hurt anyone else either. So try to be a little bit more live and let live. Okay. So next we have a Five of Swords. Okay, so there's going to be some battle here going on. I see that you, with the friends that you have these arguments with, you will probably be able to take that home and fix it. Okay, just be sure to not, overdo things, so come out too strong. I don't want you to fold your wings and make yourself small and put yourself in the shelf. It's not about that. Be who you are, but be who you are is always meaning love. Okay, it's never means revenge or hatred or I will show you. Sometimes it means throwing the worthless servant out on the street, but it's just when they are hopeless, and when they behave better, they can come back. I don't mean that you should let someone abusive back. I just mean that you can forgive them. Okay, but here it's war going on, and we have two like warrior leaders, Queen of Swords and King of Wands. The Queen of Swords with the Five of Swords only would mean that you are going to strike your enemies, and you are going to strike them hard. Okay, but here with the King of Swords being involved with this, I think you can master this power that you have, this warrior power, and use it in ways that will benefit not only yourself and your friends, but also your enemies. I have put a mantra up when I announced that I was going to do the readings today. Ho'oponopono something mantra. And it's I love you. I'm sorry. I forgive you. Thank you. When I say this mantra, I say usually I'm sorry. I forgive you. Thank you. I love you, because it has a better ring to it. And I think this is how powerful you can be, okay, to have this higher form of forgiveness. You have the power to strike and kill, but you don't. You just say, you're just being the bigger person. Something is going to happen, but I don't think it's bad. It's just you are going to feel how strong you are, what kind of power you have in your hands, and you might become aware what impact you have on other people. Maybe you didn't know. Maybe you didn't realize what kind of impact. Maybe you felt small and insignificant, and you didn't realize what kind of impact you had on people. So maybe you were a little bit careless with your claws and your teeth and your fire and your fangs, everything like this. But you were not like this because you wanted to be bad. You just wanted to have peace of mind and for people to not, pick on you. But the people picked on you anyway because they felt picked on. And then you got really mad. But there's love in this situation. There's deep friendship in this situation. There's a lot of happiness to be gained from this situation. So don't throw it away. Just feel this power in your hands and use it not to hurt, but to liberate. So that's my advice for my dear Scorpios. And these readings will never be short, how hard I try. So cutting down with 5 cards, it helped a little. I need to say it helped a little. We are not hour long, so I need to celebrate the small successes. Legends. Learn from those who inspire you. Yes, that's what I told you. Yes, they need mentors. They need role models. You need to show them. Okay, and maybe you need to learn. It was a pen that fell. Maybe you also need to learn from role models. Maybe you could look up to someone and, okay, how did she do this, or how did he do this, and you can, live by example, fake it till you make it. But I also think that you could use this power you have. You are very powerful. You can use it to help people, to school them instead of chop their heads off. Okay, school them. Let them know how things should be done. Learn from those who inspire you. You have the opportunity to rise to great heights. Listen, learn, and gain insight from those whose path you wish to follow. Gather information and do some research into your legend. Learn what is best for you right now to follow your dreams. Folk tales describe how the main personality in a legend copes with the events of everyday life. Deep within the tales is a lesson to pass on to you. The story may be of miracles, spiritual courage, or even fairy tales. True legends such as Jeanne d'Arc or Nelson Mandela courageously took on battles to overcome obstacles and persevered to meet triumph and victory. I actually think Jeanne d'Arc was executed, but I understand their point. I gather inspiration, strength, and insight from true legends. It's the story of legends, is that they are not often meeting nice fate. Jesus wasn't. Nelson Mandela was. Buddha was. Jeanne d'Arc wasn't. Martin Luther King wasn't. Kennedy wasn't. Bob Marley wasn't. I think he wasn't shot dead. He actually died from disease, but okay. And Mahatma Gandhi shot. Okay, so we are not always rewarded just because we are legends. Okay, because legends, they create change, and change, people are scared of change. They are really scared of change, but they still need change, and they need great leaders. They need people that they can follow, people that can set an example for them. And I was on a class recently where I was taught that your mentors, the people that you idolize, they are very important. If we live in a neighborhood where the only people you can idolize are drug dealers, you will probably become a drug dealer yourself. If you are living in an ancient Tibet somewhere, and the people you idolize is the monks and nuns that lives in the castle, the monastery, you might be a monk and give your life up to spiritual growth and kindness. So it's very important what kind of mentors we have. It's very important for where we end up. And I think that you are maybe in need of one, because I think you have been your own for a very long time, and you need to find role models so you can have someone that you can hold hand and follow in their footsteps. Not that you need it, but it would be good for you. You would feel taken care of. You would know more what to do instead of always having to be this strong and autonomous. But the more important thing is that you could be a great leader to others. So instead of feeling intimidated, it's like ants. Like a lot, I don't mean, women. I mean these small little creatures that live in a not an ant farm, but a little hill where they live. They come crawling up on you, and they are like stinging you everywhere, and you want to smush them because they annoys you, but you don't have to, because you're stronger. You can just push them away. It's no problem for you, and you won't die from their attack. If it's not African fire ants, of course, then you might be in trouble. Okay, but in general, you won't die from it. So you can be the bigger person, even if this ants is hurting you. So you don't have to kill them off. You can show them a better way. You can set boundaries. You can tell them that, no, this is not how we do things. So be a person of legends. So go with the King of Wands here, rather than only war. You have the strength, but you have the strength of a leader, and you don't need to like mush your your students. So if you knock down your students, how are they supposed to learn what you're trying to teach them? Okay, that was from the Jungle Book. That's how we say it in Swedish, like with Swedish words translated to English. I don't know. I think it's the Jungle Book, maybe in English as well. Okay, so be Bagheera. I don't know, maybe that's not the name in English either, but it's the bear in the Jungle Book that teaches Mowgli everything he knows. So be that bear. He could easily kill Mowgli with his claws here, like with his bear thingy, but he doesn't. And he becomes friends instead. So, like, showing how things are done. Okay, so that's a better way for you. So be a good example. Tell people what they need to hear and help them to be their better version of themselves. Okay, so my dear Scorpio, I will be back in a couple of weeks' time with bonus reading if you were able to hit that like button enough so that you are one of the 8 I will have time to do the reading for. In other case, we will see you again for the general readings for October. Okay, time's moving quickly. Take really good care and bye-bye.